So let's go to Linda Larsen, and then we'll chat a little bit about this. Linda, you've got the new Lieutenant Governor of Idaho.
That's right. In fact, we're talking with Scott Bedke right now. Right now, Scott, you're up about 21%, right?
That's what they tell me.
That's what they're telling you right now, feeling pretty confident about this. Tell me what this election has kind of boiled down to, or how you feel about how the campaign's been going.
Well, I think that this election has boiled down in each of these races about the direction that Idaho wants Idaho to go. And none of us want to wake up 10 years from now and wonder where our Idaho went. And I think that the contrast between the two parties has been very stark. And inflation, all of the concerns, the cost of living. Can we afford a home if you're looking for your first home? All of those things I think are driving the issues this time. I think the Republicans have the better answers, obviously, and I think it's looking like Idaho believes that as well.
Okay, so now some of the things that you have talked about in the past, how important it is for someone to have been and have done this before. You've had a lot of experience. How do you see the divide? How do you plan on working together with the legislature?
Well, approximately half of the legislature is going to be new, so we don't know yet. But what I can tell you is that every one of those people will have Idaho's best interest in their heart, and they'll go and they'll work. There'll be a lot of new ideas. There'll be a lot of learning the ropes and getting used to the system. So it's going to be an interesting session to watch. The economy is cooling off. The interest rates are going up. Inflation is still high. So that'll put kind of a damper on this legislative session, but that won't change the fact that we've still got to make investments into our education system, back into our roads and bridges, back into our water infrastructure, because Idaho expects us to take care of business. They want the least, the smallest footprint possible of government. They want to be not. They like the fact that we're the least regulated state in the union. They like the fact that we always live within the taxpayers' means. They like the fact that we always protect the blue and back the blue. We always fund law enforcement. We always protect the Second Amendment. We always protect the life of the unborn. That's what's put Idaho on the map, and they don't want any of that to change. At the same time, they want a good education. It doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or Republican or any of the factions in between. Parents want a quality education to be available for their kids and their grandkids, because everyone knows that that's where it starts.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and good luck.
We'll see how it turns out. Thank you.
Thank you. Back to the studio.
All right, Linda, thank you. Let's talk about that. Dr. Adler is still with me. Let's say Bedke wins out as Lieutenant Governor. He's currently the House Speaker.
Right.
That process he has to be replaced if he wins. How does that work?
Well, there will be a number of Republicans who will aspire to be the next Speaker. That's a powerful post within the Republican Party. You have your hands all over the passage of bills, the consideration of new programs and policies. That's a coveted position. And Bedke, of course, moved the legislature to the hard right with the passage of the draconian abortion laws, going after librarians with criminal sanctions, enacting the attack on critical race theory. So the legislature took a hard turn. Now the question is, what will he do as Lieutenant Governor, being the second in command? Likely he will follow closely with Brad Little. He's not going to be a Janice McGeehan who's going to take on Brad Little at every turn and try to make announcements when he's out of the state.
His replacement, or whoever that would be, that doesn't happen when the legislature meets in January.
No, I believe that they'll begin to caucus in early December, as early as December 1, when they begin to consider who should occupy these leadership posts. And as he said, there are going to be a lot of new faces, a lot of people vying for committee chairmen as well as being speaker.
Okay, so that would be established and already laid down and out of the way when they meet in January.
That's right. That's right.
All right. We'll talk a little bit more. You stay with us. We'll be right back.